Goblin Feet by JRR Tolkien. Read for LibriVox.org by Kim Stich. I am off down the road where the fairy lanterns glowed, and the little pretty flittermice are flying. A slender band of grey it runs creepily away, and the hedges and the grasses are a-sighing. The air is full of wings and of blundering beetle things that warn you with their whirring and their humming. Oh, I hear the tiny horns of enchanted leprechauns and the padding feet of many gnomes a-coming. Oh, the lights! Oh, the gleams! Oh, the little tinkly sounds! Oh, the rustle of their noiseless little robes! Oh, the echo of their feet, of their little happy feet! Oh, their swinging lamps in little starlit globes! I must follow in their train down the crooked fairy lane, where the coney rabbits long ago have gone, and where silverly they sing in a moving moonlit ring, all a-twinkle with the jewels they have on. They are fading round the turn where the glowworms palely burn, and the echo of their padding feet is dying. Oh, it's knocking at my heart. Let me go. Oh, let me start, for the little magic hours are all a-flying. Oh, the warmth! Oh, the hum! Oh, the colours in the dark! Oh, the gauzy wings of golden honey-flies! Oh, the music of their feet, of their dancing goblin feet! Oh, the magic! Oh, the sorrow when it dies! End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Kitchener by George Orwell. Read for LibriVox.org by Algy. No stone is set to mark his nation's loss, no stately tomb enshrines his noble breast. Not e'en the tribute of a wooden cross can mark his hero's rest. He needs them not, his name untarnished stands, remindful of the mighty deeds he worked, footprints of one upon time's changeful sands, who ne'er his duty shirked. Who follows in his steps, no danger shuns, nor stoops to conquer by shameful deed. An honest and unselfish race he runs, from fear and malice freed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Mole by Aldous Huxley. Read for LibriVox.org by Maria Grazia Tundo. Tunneled in solid blackness creeps the old mole soul, and wakes or sleeps, he knows not which, but tunnels on through ages of oblivion, until at last the long constraint of each hand wall is lost, and faint comes daylight creeping from afar, and mole work grows crepuscular. Tunnel meets air, and bursts. Mole sees men hugely walking, or are they trees? And far horizon smoking blue, and wandering clouds forever new. Green hills, like lighted lamps aglow, or quenching 'neath the cloud shadow. Quenching and blazing turn by turn, spring's great green signals fitfully burn. Mole travels on, but finds the steering a harder task of pioneering than when he threaded through the strait, blind catacombs that ancient fate had carved for him. Stupid and dumb, and blind and touchless he had come, away without a turn. But here, under the sky, the passenger chooses his own best way, and Mole distracted wanders. Yet his whole regrets not much wherein he crept, but runs, a joyous nympholept, this way and that, by all made mad. River nymph and Doriad, ocean's daughters and Lorelei, comb in the silken mystery, the glaucous gold of her rivery tresses, Each haunts the traveller, each possesses the drunken wavery soul awhile, then with a phantom's cockcrow smile mocks craving with sheer banishment. Small eyes grow oaks, knowledge is lent in grudging driblets that pay high, unconscionable usury to unrelenting life. More learns to travel more secure, the turns of his long way less puzzling seem, and all those magic forms that gleam in airy invitation cheat less often than they did of old. The earth slope upward, fold on fold, of quiet hills that meet the gold serenity of western skies. Over the world's edge, with clear eyes, our mole transcendent sees his way, tunnelled in light. He must obey necessity again, and thread close catacombs, as erst he did. Fate's tunnellings himself must bore through the sunset's inmost core. The guiding walls to each hand shine, luminous and crystalline, and mole shall tunnel on and on, till night let fall oblivion. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The House of the Soul Lay by Dorothy L Sayers. Read for LibriVox.org by Joyce Martin. 1. I have forgotten my name and the name of my nation. Yea, I know alone I have lost myself and have wandered far astray from the land where the magical fir trees grow, farther than far Cathay, farther than fair Atlantis, or the hills of Tir-Phaton, or the isles of Bran and Malduan, or the Isle of Avalon, from the city built on the rivers, where the willow branches sway, to a quiet tune all night to the moon, and dream in the sun all day, where the gardens drink at the water's brink, and the poppies dip to the water wan, and the roses fall from the hot red wall like showers of light on the water gray. Now and again by night, when the sun's last ray has crawled under the skyline, and I hear the waves' array march clip-clap after me, driving me up the bay that is ringed with cliffs and foam grit, and the bats wheel out anon. Sometimes I half remember, and again the word is gone, and I know that I am lonely, and the night and the sea and the spray unrestingly, unhastingly march on with no delay, and the sheer height of the cliff's white sands like the base of the great white throne, and I seem to be left with God, bereft of any wisdom to plead or pray. 2. Someone has leased me a house that is huge and dark and old, and filled with other men's dust. I do not remember bargaining, but I pay the price in gold, year after year, a heavy price, and pay it because I must. Its rafters are full of mold, and its bars of rust. The slates fly from the roof at every gust of the wind over the wold. I should like to search my house, if only I were bold, and scrape the mildew crust from cobweb-curtained corners that are quaintly shaped and cold and heaped with curious hangings. Yet I have but little lust to find what may not be told or ever discussed, hid in a closet, maybe, or carefully thrust into a curtain's fold. 3. I am afraid of my house, and I wish I knew who those other tenants were that my landlord leased it to. I know that they have been there, for sometimes I find a shoe or a ribbon for the hair. There's a grandfather clock on the stair, and an odd little bust on a bracket for which I don't very much care. They have left long since, what matter to you? True. But I wish my house was bare and perfectly clean and new, for the hollowed seat of a chair or a rod wretched askew gives me the creeps, and I dare hardly breathe in an air so thick with the dust of those who once were here, and who now are where? 4. One day the storm was loud, the clouds clung thick and red close to the windows. The sky glowed like a copper pan, the thunder muttered and cracked, the lightning leapt from its bed like a beast, the rain ripped down like a curtain of iron thread, and every nook of the house was dim and strange and dread, and odd things shuffled and squeaked in the corners, and queer feet ran hither and thither. The light was split, furled and unfurled like a fan. That was a day of God's ban. And it suddenly came to my mind that the house was inhabited by people that hid themselves, and I swore to seek and scan and find those flittering feet and the voices and what they said. But the lightning flashed and shook me and drizzled all my head, and I searched each room and closet, and I sped and sped and sped through turret and tower and corridor, till trembling I began to open the dungeon doors, and lo, in the deepest an old, old man that sat and sang and span. 5. And do you know, I could not find him again, not once, though I sometimes fancied I heard a strain with a sort of humming refrain, and I'd tiptoe down the staircase close to the wall to deaden my footfall, and the singing would rise and wane, and the flame of my secret candle shrink and shoot up smoky and tall. So, very quietly creeping, I'd suddenly gain a little low iron-bound door, and "Not in vain this time," I would whisper, "my pain." Then I'd fling the door back, quick, with a cheery call. Silence, nothing at all. Now, is it not wholly plain that there was something of wizardry, mystical, magical? 6. I hate the clock. It first says tick, it then says tock. I hear days flick, I see years flock. The whole world rock. Had I the trick, I'd like to lock time with a block to make it stick. Hick, hike, hock. Hock, hike, hick. Each at each knock drops like a brick, sticks like a stock, just at the shock, caught in the nick. Therefore the mock of that red clock turned Peter sick. 7. My house upon the landward side looks out toward the town. Pleasant it is all day to bide high in the thin air rarefied, and gaze delighted down on busy folks that drive and ride and run and crawl and hop and stride like beetles black and brown. Stiff soldiers stalk, kings pace in pride, and statesmen stoop and frown. The women strut and mince and glide, priests bustle round at Eastertide, all but their boots their broad hats hide. The wind blows out their gown. Tramps slouch and spit, boys jump and slide. They look all head. How I deride king, lady, priest, and clown. 8. My house is haunted and hell enchanted by a conjurer vaunted. Hear them tripping, chattering, scattering, imps undaunted. Here they come battering, pattering, skipping, dancing and prancing, gloating and glancing, bawling, brawling, leering and lipping, snarling and nipping, clinging and gripping, winding and whirling, twisting and twirling, sliding and sprawling askew and slipping, and they revel vitrolic, diabolic, like a devil with a colic, topping, ripping. Oh, the smashing, and oh, the crashing, oh, the hashing and slashing and sniping. My goods, if I could give you a thrashing, send you home with a good sound whipping. Bestial brood of a brutal mood, when the devil and I lay kissing and clipping, now curtsying, dipping, sweating and dripping, heel and toeing, to and froing, winking, blinking, bibing and sipping. How you frolic, alcoholic! How you rollick! Me, a wretched melancholic, shaming, stripping. 9. This was the song that, like a distant bell, exceeding light and thin, came at the dawning after nights of hell from far away within. Maybe from that unsearchable dark cell it did begin, where that old man, whose name I cannot tell, doth sit and spin. Empty the winds that can the clouds dispel, and silence after din. Water has virtue, heats of wine to quell, fatigue gives pause to sin, and rest seemed good to Adam when he fell, as to his kin. Oh, well it is for me, oh well, this way to win. 10. Yesterday, looking through my window bars, the whole sad sea was changed resplendently by one great ship that sailed with raking spars into the sunshine, and her masts were 3. Red, splendid banners in the wind flew free. Her blown white sails were thick with tempest scars. 12 blazoned shields along her side had she, and round about her prow the name of the Trinity. By night she lit her lanterns from the stars, and on her decks held mighty jubilee, with wine poured out from strange Assyrian jars. "O sirs," I cried, "whither with such good glee sail ye, for merchandise or mighty wars?" The captain said, "Come down, take ship with me." Then with this song we weighed and sailed across the sea. 9. We that speed on the shifting floor, where the green waters vary, with many a song and stroke of oar, sail for the chase of the silver boar, that's horned and hoofed and hairy. His eyes are bright, his bristles hoar, and hung with golden bells galore. Oh, many a time he flees and flies across the uplands airy, and fierce he is, and fleet he is, and light and weight and wary, and bravely framed in fairy lore, by many a hunter sought of yore. The dark salt sea is bitter and frore, the winds of comfort chary, but though the drenching sleet down pour, and Mandwadane's green steeds roar, we are not solitary. For Rhiannon's green songbirds soar about our heads for evermore, with the first stroke for Jesus King, the second stroke for Mary, the third stroke for the Trinity, the fourth for the land of Faery. By 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, we reach the wonderful weirded shore. 12. I am sailing to seek my name and the name of my nation, nay, for I know the land that bore me, where the marvellous sea beasts play, where are silver bells on the blackthorn boughs and golden bells on the May, where the magical boar abideth, and the birds of Rhiannon, and Adam and Eve and Enoch, and Arthur and Prester John. I have learnt the name of my city, and learnt to ask my way, and the whole ship's crew are my fellows too, and a merry crew be they. All day we sail with a favouring gale, or gird ourselves as the storm draws on, and strive and cope, and rudder and rope, and sing aloud in the loud affray. And other things I have learnt, and the first is still to say to myself, O unlearned fool, and also, fool, be gay! Oh, well for the glorious chase of God, and well for the hot assay! Well for the noise of water, for the hills where the sun has shone, for the trees on the far horizon, and the chart we may not con. Well for the terrible mere-wolf, and the caves where the witch-wife lay, till we touched her brows where the fir-trees stand, and all we witless wanderers wone, God bless the fools and the wise in schools, et gloria tibi Domine. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. De Profundis by C.S. Lewis, read for LibriVox.org by Joyce Martin. Come, let us curse our master ere we die, for all our hopes in endless ruin lie. The good is dead. Let us curse God Most High. 4,000 years of toil and hope and thought, wherein men labored upward and still wrought new worlds and better, thou hast made as naught. We built us joyful cities, strong and fair. Knowledge we sought and gathered wisdom rare, and all this time you laughed upon our care. And suddenly the earth grew black with wrong. Our hope was crushed, and silenced was our song. The heaven grew loud with weeping. Thou art strong. Come then and curse the Lord. Over the earth gross darkness falls, and evil was our birth, and our few happy days of little worth. Even if it be not all a dream in vain, the ancient hope that still will rise again, of a just God that cares for earthly pain, yet far away, beyond our laboring night, he wanders in the depths of endless light, singing alone his musics of delight. Only the far spent echo of his song our dungeons and deep cells can smite along, and thou art nearer, thou art very strong. O universal strength, I know it well. It is but froth of folly to rebel, for thou art Lord and hast the keys of hell. Yet I will not bow down to thee nor love thee, for looking in my own heart I can prove thee, and know this frail, bruised being is above thee. Our love, our hope, our thirsting for the right, our mercy and long seeking of the light, shall we change these for thy relentless might? Laugh then and slay, shatter all things of worth, heap torment still on torment for thy mirth. Thou art not Lord while there are men on earth. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Une Ballade des Dents Perdues by William Faulkner. Read for LibriVox.org by Kim Stich. I sing in the green dusk, fatuously of ladies I have loved. Ça ne fait rien, hélas, vraiment, vraiment. Gay little ghosts of loves in silver sandals, they dance with quick feet on my lute strings, with the abandon of boarding-school virgins, while unbidden moths, amorous of my seraglio, call them with soundless love songs, a sort of ethereal seduction. They hear, alas, my women, and brush my lips with ghostly kisses, stealing away singly, their tiny ardent faces like wildflowers from some blown garden of dreams, to their love nights among the roses. I am old and alone, and the stardust from their wings has dimmed my eyes. I sing in the green dusk of lost ladies. Si vraiment, vraiment charmant. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Dying Man and the Vulture by Kahlil Gibran. Read for LibriVox.org by Elizabeth Klett. Wait, wait yet a while, my eager friend. I shall yield but too soon this wasted thing, whose agony overwrought and useless exhausts your patience. I would not have your honest hunger wait upon these moments. But this chain, though made of a breath, is hard to break, and the will to die, stronger than all things strong, is stayed by a will to live feebler than all things feeble. Forgive me, comrade, I tarry too long. It is memory that holds my spirit, a procession of distant days, a vision of youth spent in a dream, a face that bids my eyelids not to sleep, a voice that lingers in my ears, a hand that touches my hand. Forgive me that you have waited too long. It is over now, and all is faded, the face, the voice, the hand, and the mist that brought them hither. The knot is untied, the cord is cleaved, and that which is neither food nor drink is withdrawn. Approach, my hungry comrade, the board is made ready, and the fare, frugal and spare, is given with love. Come, and dig your beak here, into the left side, and tear out of its cage this smaller bird, whose wings can beat no more. I would have it soar with you into the sky. Come now, my friend, I am your host tonight, and you my welcome guest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Cynics and Romantics by Robert Graves. Read for LibriVox.org by Elizabeth Klett. In club and mess-room let them sit, at skirmish of ingenious wit, deriding love, yet not with hearts accorded to those healthier parts of grim self-mockery, but with mean and burrowing search for things unclean, pretended deafness, twisted sense, sharp innuendos rising thence, and affectation of prude shame that shrinks from using the short name. We are not envious of their sour disintegrations of love's power, their swift analysis of the stabs devised by virgins and by drabs, powder or lace or scent, to excite a none too jaded appetite. They never guess of love as we have found the amazing art to be, pursuit of dazzling flame, or flight from web-hung blackness of night, with laughter only to express care overborne by carelessness. They never bridge from small to great, from nod or glance to ideal fate, from clouded forehead or slow sigh to doubt and agony looming by, from shining gaze and hair flung free to infinity and to eternity. They sneer and poke a treacherous joke with scorn for our rusticity. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Snake by D.H. Lawrence, read for LibriVox.org by Rhonda Federman. A snake came to my water trough on a hot, hot day, and I in pajamas for the heat, to drink there. In the deep, strange-scented shade of the great dark carob tree, I came down the steps with my pitcher, and must stand and wait, for there he was at the trough before me. He reached down from a fissure in the earth wall in the gloom and trailed his yellow-brown slackness soft-bellied down over the edge of the stone trough, and rested his throat upon the stone bottom, and where the water had dripped from the tap, in a small clearness, he sipped with his straight mouth, softly drank through his straight gums into his slack long body, silently. Someone was before me at my water trough, and I, like a second comer, waiting. He lifted his head from his drinking, as cattle do, and looked at me vaguely, as drinking cattle do, and flickered his two-forked tongue from his lips, and mused a moment, and stooped, and drank a little more, being earth-brown, earth-golden from the burning bowels of the earth on the day of Sicilian July, with Etna smoking. The voice of my education said to me he must be killed, for in Sicily the black snakes are innocent, the gold are venomous. And voices in me said, if you were a man, you would take a stick and break him now, and finish him off. But I must confess how I liked him, how glad I was he had come like a guest in quiet, to drink at my water trough, and depart peaceful, pacified, and thankless into the burning bowels of this earth. Was it cowardice that I dared not kill him? Was it perversity that I longed to talk to him? Was it humility to feel honored? I felt so honored. And yet those voices, if you are not afraid, you would kill him. And truly, I was afraid. I was most afraid. But even so, honored still more, that he should seek my hospitality from out the dark door of the secret earth. He drank enough, and lifted his head dreamily, as one who has drunken, and flickered his tongue like a forked knight on the air, so black, seeming to lick his lips, and looked around like a god, unseeing into the air, and slowly turned his head, and slowly, very slowly, as if thrice a dream, proceeded to draw his slow length curving round and climb again the broken bank of my wall face. And as he put his head into that dreadful hole, and as he slowly drew up, Snake easing his shoulders, and entered further, a sort of horror, a sort of protest against his withdrawing into that horrid black hole, deliberately going into the blackness and slowly drawing himself after, overcame me now his back was turned. I looked round. I put down my pitcher. I picked up a clumsy log and threw it at the water trough with a clatter. I think it did not hit him, but suddenly that part of him that was left behind convulsed in undignified haste, writhed like lightning, and was gone into the black hole, the earth-lipped fissure into the wall front at which, in the intense still noon, I stared with fascination. And immediately I regretted it. I thought how paltry, how vulgar, what a mean act. I despised myself and the voices of my accursed human education. And I thought of the albatross, and I wished he would come back, my snake, for he seemed to me again like a king in exile, uncrowned in the underworld, now due to be crowned again. And so I missed my chance with one of the lords of life, and I have something to expiate. A pettiness. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ultimately by Ernest Hemingway. Read for LibriVox.org by Joyce Martin. Ultimately. He tried to spit out the truth, dry-mouthed at first. He drooled and slobbered in the end, truth dribbling his chin. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.